I monetize 1 to 2 faceless long-form YouTube channels every single week. And as you can see here, another channel is ready for monetization. Let me just reload. And in this video, I will show you guys exactly how I do this and how you can do it too, so we can all make some good money together. So now let's get started. In this video, I'll show you how I monetize one channel. This is now on the lower side every single week. As you can see here, these were actually the 3 channels I've monetized last week and this week together. So with this one, it would be 4 channels. Now, before we get started, who am I? I'm Steffen. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars with faceless YouTube channels, and I've helped hundreds of other people do the same thing. Just as an example, Martins, who made $31,000 in one single month. Here, Stamp, who got monetized in literally 2 weeks. Here's another one, 20 days to monetization. And then here, another student making $23,000, almost $24,000 in October. Now, why can they do that? Very simple. If you work one-on-one with me, I actually help you pick the first niche. And if you're interested in that, just check out the first link in the video description and book a call with me, and then we'll see if you would be a good fit. But now let's get started. So before we can actually, get started with a channel or with the niche research, what I always like to do is I actually get channels ready in advance. Now, shadow bans are real on YouTube. Like, everyone knows that shadow bans are real. Now, how can you see if your channel is shadow banned or not? Very simple. If your videos don't get any impressions, if it's like literally if your videos get under 100 impressions, right? That would mean that your channel is most likely shadow banned, right? Now, that's always the reason of a very low trust score on your channel. Now, what is a trust score? That's very simple. How much does the platform actually trust your account? Which we will go over a bit later on how to actually increase your trust score, okay? Now, there are different kind of YouTube accounts. For example, a brand new YouTube account, which is currently working the best. Then we have aged YouTube channels, which you can buy here, aged accounts, or you can also buy it on here. Let me just do it like this. Here, aged profiles, or here on agedwhitehairaccounts.org, or here aged accounts, right? So in most cases, they're out of stock at the moment. So you can just buy them here. They're also really good. I can see they're also out of stock there. But like I already said, like brand new YouTube channels do work the best at the moment. And then we obviously have pre-monetized accounts, which I would not recommend you to go for, especially if you're just getting started, because they could be like around about $600 if you want to get a good one, all right? Now, if you start out with a brand new account or even an aged account, you always want to warm up your account. Now, how exactly do you warm up your account? Very simple. Use it as a normal user. So literally just use it how you would normally use YouTube, not like a bot or anything like that, just like a normal user. Now, we actually warm up our account to increase our trust score, okay? So this is actually super important to make sure that our YouTube channel is not being shadow banned from YouTube. Then watch at least 1 to 2 hours of content per day. Subscribe, comment, and like to, different channels, different videos. Like I said, do not do this in a bot way. Just do it as a normal human, okay? Then do this for at least 1 week to lower the risk of a trust score. So before we even get started with the niche research, this is what we have to have ready, because once we, start out with the niche research and we find something, we want to act as quickly as possible. And that's why I always have like 2-3 accounts that are always ready and warmed up. Always, all right? So then once we have this ready, we can start with the niche research. Now, finding a niche, for this, we want to open an incognito window or even create a brand new channel just for niche research, all right? So I can just quickly show you guys what I usually do. So either I use a incognito window, or I would just go ahead and open a brand new YouTube channel, like for example this, which I then only use for niche research. And what I do here specifically, I only watch videos that are faceless, all right? I only watch, like I would literally go to search up any faceless niche, like for example, biggest houses, just as an example. You can literally do this with anything you want. Click on this video. As you can see, I actually viewed it. And then you click yourself through here on the sidebar, just like this. You just click yourself through here on the sidebar and just click on faceless videos the whole time. And then with that, you're actually showing YouTube like, hey, this person actually likes to see faceless videos. And then you just literally scroll down here for niche research and you can use your homepage for doing niche research. It's a really overpowered method. Now you can also get NextLev, which I have linked below, where you can actually filter everything on your homepage. Like you can, for example, filter it like this. So only channels with 32,000 subscribers will be shown. And then you can just click here, channel subscribers from smallest to biggest. And now on here, we can already see here another niche, right? 2,000 subscribers, 50,000 views, and so on. Now I didn't scroll down until the bottom. What you always want to do is just scroll down until the bottom, because then there will be more filters NextLev can actually filter for you, all right? Now, as I already said, NextLev is a must-use tool. You will have it in the video description if you want to use it. Now, what am I specifically looking for the niches? Very simple. There are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are consistently getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. This is super important, because if you don't look at these metrics and you just randomly pick niches, you will not be able to monetize channels very quickly. So for me, and also for most of my students, it takes like 2 to 4 weeks to monetize our channels, right? Just because we make sure that we go into niches with high demand and low supply. And that means there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers, no smaller channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can actually create better content than my competitors that can also just be longer content. Then am I actually interested in this niche? It's not a must, as long as you build a team that has interest in the niche. Is this niche monetizable? This is a must, because otherwise you're not going to make any money. And then it's obviously going to be a huge bonus if they post long videos. Now, it's very important to give yourself enough time to do niche research. Do not rush the process, especially when you're just starting out. Now, what would I recommend you to do if you want to monetize 1 to 2 channels a week? So what you're going to do is you're also going to create accounts just like this. You can create multiple accounts where you do niche research on your YouTube homepage. This is no joke the fastest and the easiest way to do niche research in 2025. And due to the YouTube algorithm literally pushing out small channels like crazy at the moment, this, no joke, is a glitch when it comes to niche research, right? And what I would want you to do is you literally go into these accounts just for 15 minutes a day and just scroll down and see how many niches you can find. Now, you can literally do multiple of these accounts. So here again, we have another one, Grand Rescue. 1,000 subscribers, 180,000 views, 9 videos. Let's see how many views have they gotten. 200,000 views with 9 videos. So here we already have a niche, right? This is an AI niche, but we still have a niche. Now we can just subscribe to this channel. So YouTube shows me more channels exactly like this. So that's what you're going to look for in a niche. Very, very easy with NextLev and the home page method. Then we obviously need speed, right? So speed is key. You must have a team that can implement very quickly. Without this, it's going to be very difficult, because you always have to keep in mind that YouTube is player versus player, and you are going to look for a niche and I'm going to look for a niche. Right? We're all looking for niches, and the person who can implement the fastest is always going to win on YouTube. All right. So that's why I would highly recommend you guys to click the first link in the video description and apply to work one-on-one with me, because we, for example, give you access to my team. We ensure that you have speed, right? Which is one of the most important things on YouTube, right? Now, if you don't want to do that, you can hire your team. You can hire a script writer from Upwork, or you can just use AI. With AI, you're obviously going to have way more speed. And that's why most of my videos are also just, the scripts are written by AI, but we use specific prompts to write these scripts and write really good scripts. Then voiceover, you can either use Fiverr or just ElevenLabs. What you can also use is here GenAIPro. Amazing tool. You get super cheap tool voiceovers. You can also check it out in the video description. So you can just see $31 for 11 million credits. I don't know how long this tool is still going to be there. Hopefully still very long. But with this, then this whole thing, like the scripting and the voiceover, takes you 5 minutes. Then you need a editor, which you can hire from Upwork or X. Now on X, the editors are going to charge more. Upwork is more basic niches. Now, just make sure that you hire a video editor who is very fast. All right. You don't want someone who takes 10 days to create a video. If you find a niche, for me, it's like that. If I find a niche, I have my first video posted within the next 24 hours. Then a thumbnail designer, you can hire that from Upwork or X, or you can just do it yourself. I like to do my thumbnails myself in the beginning. If we test new channels, I like to do the thumbnails myself just so I can make 100% sure that the thumbnails I create are really, really good. Okay. And then we go to the testing phase, all right? So this is basically where we kind of sort out the channels. But because if you use this strategy here to test niche or to find niches, you will find a lot of niches, trust me. And you don't want to overthink and give yourself too much time to, overthink. You just want to go ahead and test very fast. But if you're testing very fast, there are obviously going to be some niches which are not that good. And that's where we come into the testing phase, where we actually test a niche for as cheap as possible. Right? So what we will be doing is we will, go to the list of channels we have in this niche. So you need a list of all channels in the niche you found. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look at these channels and pick the best performing videos and recreate them. All right. Or add a little twist to those videos. Just something little unique, but all in all, it should be very, very similar because it's already proven to work. All right. What you're then going to do is you're going to post 5 videos to your YouTube channel, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos to your YouTube channel. Now, one of two things is going to happen. I usually don't really post more than 5 videos. Yes, you can. And it would be good if you're just starting out, then you can post 5 videos on your new channel. But in most cases, within these first 5 videos, you can see if this channel is going to work or it's not going to work. All right. So either one of two things is going to happen. Either you're not going to get any views, right? Or, and this would be scenario bad, like where you would actually kill off the channel, right? Or in scenario 2, you are actually getting views. And now you have proof of concept, and that's where you continue posting and where you could actually, also increase the video quality. But this is always super, super important. I usually do not continue to post if nothing went viral, or not like viral, but if I don't see at least a little bit of proof of concept after posting the first 5 videos. So this is basically what we do now during this testing process. By the way, this here takes around about 3 to 10 days until you see something like this. And in this time frame where you actually wait for the channel to gain some traction, you can always, and that's what I do, move back to niche research, because now you just look for new niches. And if this doesn't work, you don't even care anymore because you're already testing the next niche, right? And if you want to monetize like 1 to 2 niches or 1 to 2 channels every single week, I would highly recommend you to at least test 3 niches a week. All right. Now, how much is this going to cost you if you test 3 niches a week? On the very low end, that's going to cost you actually $900. $900 a week if you're going to test 3 niches. So that might not be doable for everyone, but for, the people where it is doable, then $900 a week to test 3 channels a week. Not 900. Oops. You see, I made a calculation mistake there. So actually per niche we test, we like pay around about $100. Okay. So that would be $1,200 a month to test niches, right? And with that, you will have tested 12 niches from which I can promise you that if you did everything correct, at least 1 or 2 would work out, especially when you're just starting out. All right. So yeah, this is the process how we actually test niches. I hope you guys learned something, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Just make sure if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, avoiding all this trial and error, then just check out the first link in the video description, and let's get you the silver play button like we did for Tyler. And here, like for example, here another student, $25,000 a month. Here another one, 11,000, almost 12,000 a month. So make sure to check out the first link in the video description. And then I'll see you guys in the next video.